All right, PMP Sports, we are back after a 2-week absence.
Woo!
Matt and Mike almost overslept for the show today.
False.
It's just
Okay.
me.
I was awake.
Matt.
I timed it perfectly.
Just Matt.
I was in the
He's
shower.
hungover
40
from that
minutes.
win still against
Yes.
the Redskins.
Big win.
You know,
5
you
days
saw
ago.
that. You see what I did there?
Yes.
Because our first segment's the Giants. So, okay. Obviously, just give it to me. Come on.
The king of
Alright.
segues.
I'm still working. All right.
Speaking of segues, I hate seeing those things on campus.
Oh, come on. Corny. You know what the thing with corny jokes
Get started.
are? They were big in like the 1940s.
Maybe that's
When
what,
everyone's
maybe that's
like,
where I wish
I got a
we
joke
were.
for you.
Well, maybe I wish this was the 40s.
I was.
Well, yeah, you would because the Yankees were dominant in the 40s. Come on. And the Giants were awesome. All your the Knicks didn't exist.
Yeah,
Which
true.
Brooklyn
most Knicks
Dodgers.
fans wish right now.
Yeah. Well.
Actually, they might as well nowadays.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited for the year.
Although Chris thinks they're going to have a better record than the Celtics, which we have to get him on for
Chris
that.
thinks they're gonna go 97-52.
Yep. Yep. Because he likes to include preseason games.
And
But anyways,
and postseason.
But anyways,
and
we'll
days off.
All right, we'll talk about the G-men. All right, Victor Cruz apparently coming back after missing 3 games and a couple. How many preseason games did he miss? He at
All
least
of them.
missed
He
2.
missed all of them. He didn't play.
He missed all.
Yep, he didn't play.
Yep.
Okay, because he hurt his calf right before the first preseason game.
I think so. Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the field in
2 straight
Quite
years
some
a
time.
top Giants receiver.
Basically a year now.
yeah.
A year now. Okay, so OBJ, it doesn't seem like the Madden curse is affecting him. These past 2 wide receivers on the Madden cover, it doesn't seem to bother them.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, please.
Stop talking about it.
Why? Why? Oh, please. Oh, your Madden curse. Oh, hoo. Talk to Ian. He's a Red Sox fan. You think he believes in curses anymore? No. Of course not. I stopped believing in curses after what happened to the Red Sox
I
in 04.
always believe in curses. Always.
Oh, please. It's either you suck or you make an excuse
Have you
for
met
it.
a Cubs fan?
They
Have you
sucked.
met
When was
a
the
Mets
last time
fan?
The Cubs went to a World Series.
Exactly, it's a curse.
It's not a curse. They suck. They suck.
Have you met a Mets fan? You're cursed with something that goes to Jose Reyes or Carlos Beltran or
No,
something.
they've sucked.
Yeah, no. The
That's
Mets
the
have just
reason.
You know
sucked.
why they collapsed back then?
The Madden
In
curse is
07,
real.
08? They had no bullpen and they had no pitching. Go look at that 06 pitching roster. Who was pitching Game 7 for the Mets? If you go back and look
Who
now,
was it anyway?
What were you confident about? Oliver Perez.
I was gonna say it was
Ali-
I was gonna say it was
Perez.
Ali
Are you
Perez.
kidding me?
That's what I was
you
gonna
come
say.
back and you tell me 9 years later that who was pitching Game 7? It's like, wow.
Good old Ali Perez.
How were we favorites? If you really think about it. Okay. Anyways, we always get off track. The Giants, Matt, do they have a shot at winning this division title?
I think they do. Solely based on the fact that
Everyone sucks.
well, not even everyone. I mean, the Cowboys are obviously the best team in the division, but without Romo and Dez, I mean, the Giants have to make up ground. Cowboys play the Saints this week with a beat up Drew Brees at Dallas, so I really don't see them losing that game. We play Buffalo at Buffalo, which is a really tough game. So
Yeah,
if we can grab a win and somehow the Cowboys lose, even it up 2-2, I think there's a shot we can win the division.
Well, who do the Eagles play this week, or do they have a bye?
They play.
The Eagles
I
could,
don't know.
Ooh, I know this.
Do the Eagles play the
Let's see.
Redskins?
No.
They play the So
Yeah.
they'll be 2-2.
If
So
the Eagles don't play the Skins, everyone
do-
has
they
the
do-
potential
they
of finishing 2-2 at the end of the
yeah,
fourth week.
they do play the Skins. So
They do. Okay,
Yeah.
so there you go. Most likely the Eagles seem to be finding themselves, so they could, whatever.
Yeah,
No.
Eagles
Yeah, whatever
can
we
pick
call
it
that.
up,
I
the
don't want
Giants.
to talk about Sunday. I'm enjoying my weekend for the first time in almost 10 years. Around this time of the year, at least. You know.
yeah,
Anyways.
whatever.
OBJ. My God. OBJ or Julio
It's a
this year?
freak of nature. Julio is this year. OBJ was last year, but OBJ is still.
But
Yeah,
Julio was hurt
sick.
last year, though. He
Yeah.
was playing hurt. At least OBJ
Yeah,
sat out and
that's
came
true.
back healthy.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But I would take Julio this year.
Who? Yeah.
Matt Ryan's not even playing all that well. He just has Julio.
No, it's pretty much just.
It's just Julio.
It's just pretty much press B or whatever receiver.
Yeah.
Have on that.
hold triangle for the aggressive catch.
Yeah, wait till he gets open and just throw it his way.
Yeah.
That's how good. And you know how sad it is? Calvin Johnson is just nobody considers him top 5 anymore.
I personally don't.
No.
And we kind of had this discussion.
I didn't consider him top 5
Like
going into the season.
Yeah, I mean, like talent-wise, like he still has it, but he hasn't produced. He hasn't shown it on the field. So
he doesn't have the speed anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, and they're going with Golden Tate all the time now.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
How horrible is Matthew Stafford against winning?
I like Stafford a lot, and I hate to see that he just isn't good. They don't win. The Lions suck.
I think his winning record. I saw a statistic that was his winning record against teams that finish over 500 during the season. So say he faces, you know how they face the Chargers in the first game?
Right.
Say the Chargers finish 10-6 or whatever their record is for the season. That would go towards his record, so it was a loss. Guess what his record is against teams that finish 500 during the season?
I don't know, like 12-27.
No, 3-30.
That's
wow.
Actually,
Really?
going to be 3-31 now because they just lost to the Broncos.
wow.
Horrible.
That's so bad.
How horrible is that?
That's unbelievably bad.
Stafford, he has a great arm, but that's about it.
How can you be that bad?
It's horrible.
With that defense too.
The defense wasn't always that good.
Yeah, but the last 2 years it has been.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't have won.
Defense
He
still
couldn't
good?
have won more than. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, they couldn't have won more than 3 games last year against above.
I know they
500
lost
teams,
what's
so-
his name to the Dolphins, but
Yeah, Nick
they're
Dominican-Sue.
They're another mess.
Oh,
the
the
Dolphins.
mighty Dolphins.
They're another
jeez,
mess. My
jeez.
goodness.
What else is new?
I mean they were playing the defense of the Bills.
But they haven't. They look
Okay.
bad against the
Okay,
Redskins.
so what?
Yeah, true.
This team was expected to. Some people had them winning the division. There was actually some idiots.
I mean,
out there
I
that
had
are
the
like-
Pats had them win. I had them win. Pats winning.
The Pats are winning this division every single year,
It's-
unless Brady gets hurt like he did the one year, or Belichick and him retire. No one's gonna do it. I'm sorry. No, it's not gonna happen. I don't know how anyone can think otherwise. It's just not gonna happen.
It's a good division.
Unless
It's
you guys get a real
competitive.
quarterback.
It's competitive 4 through 2. I mean, any one of those teams. Now I don't know about the Dolphins, but any one of
No,
those
the
teams could have
Dolphins-
came second. Now not the Dolphins. I'm saying.
I think if the Dolphins lose against the Jets in London,
I think
Philbin
Philbin's
should be
gone.
fired.
Yeah, he'll be
He
gone.
should be gone. The guy should have been gone anyway.
Yeah.
After when they were on Hard Knocks,
Right.
and they saw how horrible he ran that team. Jeez,
Yeah, Philbin will be gone.
Philbin will be gone.
Probably some other members of that.
They don't
of
know
that
how to
staff.
draft either. They keep drafting wide receivers, and they keep thinking, "Oh, why is Ryan Tannehill still getting sacked? We get guys
Yeah,
open."
right,
It's like,
exactly.
well, Tannehill doesn't have time to throw.
Well, when you have problems with your linemen making fun of each other, they gotta get rid of them all.
Oh,
It's also a
please,
reason.
Don't even. Of course, Rex would sign him.
Oh, he had to. He had to.
Yeah, just like he had to sign.
He wouldn't have been
IK
Rex. Yeah.
and then
Yeah, but that's actually a decent signing, though. I mean, he was having a good camp and
He
stuff.
wasn't a bad lineman. He was
He
just an idiot.
Yeah, well,
You know, whatever. But then whatever. Who cares about the Dolphins? The Dolphins are irrelevant. So, how
lot
do
of
you like the
Dolphins
front
fans.
7 looking?
For
Are they
the
solid
Giants?
enough?
The Giants?
Yeah. Well, yes. The
Well, Eric
Giants.
Flowers is out now.
it's
But he's a lineman.
the front seven's less than solid. There's no pass rush whatsoever, at all.
You think JPP would even make a difference at this
He'd
point?
make a little difference, yeah. I think maybe even more than a
Well,
little
what
difference because
JPP are you
Ayers is
thinking of?
Ayers is well, that's true too. He hasn't been rookie JPP since his rookie year. Even with the injury, I don't think the injury would really slow him down. I don't personally. That doesn't really make an effect. He said he doesn't think it would affect him.
I mean, I don't really know anybody who uses their index finger to tackle people.
Yeah, so I mean, Ayers is having a good year.
But
If you put JPP on the opposite side of him, it's a somewhat of a pass rush. The linebackers have played okay. Beeson's back. Unga's played really well. I like
think they just
Unga.
lost their
He's
identity.
doing really good.
Yeah, they don't.
They
that's
lost
exactly
what
it.
made them Super Bowl champions twice.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Mean run game with Brandon Jacobs, who I never liked, but he was still great.
The GOAT.
Okay. Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, and then they had that mean front 7 that would just get in your face and
Yep.
love to sack you.
But the years
Where's
of Tuck, Strahan, and OC.
Where's the Strahans? They're all gone.
It was supposed to be JPP. It was supposed to be JPP and Tuck.
I think after Strahan and OC left, they really got arrogant.
Yeah.
Justin Tuck and JPP. They all thought they
Is
were
Tuck
just
still
as
with the
good as
Raiders?
OC and Strahan. Which
Yeah.
I never understood why they talked a big game like they were OC and
Right.
Strahan.
Right.
OC and Strahan were the quiet ones that went about their
Right.
business. It was always the Brandon Jacobs and the Justin Tucks that always got loud and they always got in your face about it, which was good to have.
Right.
You need that in football. But now it's gone in general. You're not getting the production and no one's getting in your face and getting loud.
And people have been knocking the secondary too. Their secondaries look decent. They're holding their own.
And they've been hurt.
I mean, other than Julio, but no one's been able to stop
They
Julio.
have really talented cornerbacks.
They do. They really do. And
Yeah,
Landon
it's
Collins, I really like
tough.
Landon Collins. I'm a big Landon
That
Collins
was
guy.
a solid second round.
Yeah, I think so too.
They just haven't
they'll
been
mold him a
developing
little bit.
offensive
Yeah.
linemen well
Yep.
either.
Because they tried to rush a bunch in at one time because the line was all the same age. So
was
when they
the
all
one
retired
from
together,
who? I'm sorry, because I'm not a big Giants fan. But the lineman from Syracuse, which one was that?
Oh,
they
was that
drafted?
Pugh.
Pugh? It was just Pugh? Okay. And then he hasn't been that great,
Right.
right? For
No.
a first round pick for a
And they've had the
lineman.
injuries. Beatty
Yeah.
got hurt.
He moved a bunch of positions too.
Yeah,
He went
they-
from,
they've
like,
all-
left
they've all had-
tackle
all the
to
time.
left
And then
guard.
especially
They've all had
Flowers
they've
got
all had
hurt,
to
right?
shift around.
Yeah.
Right.
When Flowers got hurt, they had to move him around.
Yep.
So, but at the end of the day, it was the Giants made an improvement
You see,
after their first two games
You
in
can-
a shortened week.
well, I think one of the big things is that Eli sees what Peyton did without good offensive lines, and now Eli's trying to play Peyton. He's getting rid of the ball. The other night, Peyton was getting rid of the ball in like 0.34, 0.38 seconds. Eli's starting to do that too. He's starting to go with the quick passes to Donnell, the quick slants. He's trying not to sit in the pocket
He
longer
needs
because
to
he knows
trust other receivers.
right. Well, he knows he's not going to get the protection that he used to with that old line. So he's getting rid of the ball a lot faster, and it's not a vertical game. They play a horizontal game right now. So if the line can get somewhat healthy, give Eli a little time, the run, a better run game would help a lot too. But
Yeah.
the run game's been inconsistent. They're trying to go with all three backs.
I think
Change
it's kind
the
of
pace.
cool.
I like it too. It's
because
just
I like all three of them.
Right, it hasn't worked out that well. Like Vereen's only catching passes, but we knew that going into the
You
year.
gotta go game by game.
Right.
Ian can tell you.
Jennings
with
hasn't played
Belichick
well
and
at
his
all.
running backs. It's a game by game plan. And
Oh,
I
they
hate
do
the
it more than
Patriots,
they do
but
it more
they're
than
so
anybody.
Smart.
Yep,
Yeah.
they
They
do it
know
more than
what
anybody.
to do. There's a certain,
they play matchups.
And when I worked for a football app, my boss told me all the time, you don't realize how smart Belichick is. It's Jonas Gray's in Belichick's doghouse. No, he's not. Jonas Gray was in a game plan for a certain week against a certain defense because his style of running.
Right.
That's why it goes in cycles. Wes Welker, they had no problem replacing him. Randy Moss, Randy Moss is a different story because he's an all-time
Speaking
great
of
talent.
Wes Welker,
Could be a Giant.
he could be a
by the end
Giant
of this
soon.
week.
He needs to retire. Too many blows to the head.
Yeah,
He's risking
that's
it
very
too much.
true. That's very
He's
true.
got to
Also
worry
does a lot
about
of
himself.
drugs.
He's
Late-
made his
late in
money.
his career.
He's made his money on the NFL field and at the Belmont Stakes.
Right.
So
Yeah, I don't understand Wes Welker. He has a lot of concussions and he also does a lot of drugs.
I am worried about Wes outside of football afterwards.
Yeah.
Because some guys get too dependent on being on the field Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
He needs to go somewhere where he could still get that passion out of him and
Canadian
that energy,
Football League.
Right.
because it can consume him like Junior Seau.
Yeah. He could,
You don't want
he could
Seau.
potentially play in the Canadian League.
It's still risking it. It's making it worse. You just gotta take care of it. All right. So, final question. To wrap up this segment. Here, I don't know how to word this question. Percentage-wise, what percentage chance do you give the G-Men of winning this division or even making the playoffs?
60%.
Making the playoffs?
Playoffs, I think it's 70%. I don't think the AFC is that great. NFC is
60%.
that great.
Just because
I go 60.
it's so early.
I go 60.
It's
We're
so
almost
early,
after,
and
after this game, we're a quarter of the way through.
And
yeah.
but the Eagles could still make noise.
That's true too.
And Dez is coming back. Even though Romo's not going to be back, but Dez is coming back. And the Redskins are basically out of it. No offense.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No offense, Ian.
No, that's true. That's very true. I'm trying to.
Redskins, why?
Huh?
Hey, Pats fan.
Oh, I thought he was a Redskins fan.
Wait,
I thought you just said he was a
man.
Redskins fan before.
To be honest, the way
Never mind. Whatever.
they might be able to get a wild
Too
card
early.
spot if they don't win the division. they might be able to get a wild
Whatever.
card
The
spot.
G-men are used to being road warriors
Oh,
now.
of course,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
I mean, they did have the one home game against the Falcons the second time they won, but
Exactly.
still,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
As long as they have Coughlin, they have a chance. I think.
As long,
love
as,
Tom
long as we
Coughlin.
have Eli, we have a
He's
chance.
so good.
As long as Eli is protected,
As long as Eli
have a
stops
shot.
throwing the ball around in the foot. He still hasn't thrown a pick yet, at least. That's new.
it's
The G-men are such a weird
We'll
team.
save
They don't
that
have
for
to have
ano-
good
we'll save that
players.
for another time.
Normally he'd have like 5
because
picks by now.
I'm one of the few people that's not a Giants fan that defends Eli.
Thank you. I actually appreciate that.
I
Eli
defend
Eli-
a lot of teams that I don't like.
Because you're a sports fan. That's why.
No,
Hey,
because I'm realistic.
Because you know what you're talking about. That's why. You know the facts.
Can't wait till this next segment. Oh my god. Can't wait to rip people for the jeez. Okay, so you said 60%, right?
I'd say 60%.
Yeah, we're both going with
Both
60.
going with 60. We'll revisit it in a couple weeks. I say around homecoming, mid-October.
Okay.
I hope
think-
it's 70, but I think 60.
I think they got a real shot. Just because everything seems to be bending their way.
They always
And
screw up
you never
against
know
the
how
Eagles,
Philly
though.
can play again once DeMarco comes back.
Right.
They always screw up against the
21
Eagles, so
21
that's the
carries for
problem.
11 yards. Big year so far.
Doesn't Eli have more rushing yards than
Yeah, a lot of people have more rushing yards.
Okay. All right.
Eli does have more rushing yards.
That'll
than
do
that.
it for our next for this segment. Next, the Metsies are back.
Woo!
It's been a long time coming.